So Jazza created a recent video, can I draw characters from memory? I took that inspiration and instead of doing it traditional, I decided to do it digital. And with the 3 characters that I had in mind, it was Goku Super Saiyan 4 from Dragonball GT. To me, that's the OG. I mean, that's like one of my favorite character transformations. I will die in my grave. Super Saiyan 4 is the best, no discussion.
It's payback time.
And Jinx from Arcane, just because it's extremely popular and I did watch season 2 and I did like season 2. I know some people didn't like it. Sue me, I don't care. I liked it. Huey from Boondocks, or should I say the Boondocks, because my imagination is, let's face it, it's 1001% accurate. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So the first character was, of course, Goku Super Saiyan 4, and to this day, I'm gonna keep saying this, one of the greatest masculine transformations in the universe of Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Z, however you call it, the Dragon Ball universe. Anyway, when drawing this, the biggest challenge for me was, oh man, how am I going to get the hair? See, here's the thing, the spiky hair is so spiky, and thank God I'm not drawing Super Saiyan 3. The hardest part for me was just the hair, and then everything else started to work its way through. Then after doing that drawing from the sketch using Adobe Photoshop, I transferred that onto Adobe Illustrator. And then from here, I'm just utilizing the pen tool. Pen tool didn't take too long because again, I'm not drawing these characters from head to toe. And then afterwards, this is when I add the color. When looking at it, I can already tell, is it accurate? Of course it's not, it's out of my imagination, but at the same time, I wanted to give that yellow lightning because, you know, representation of the fact that he's extended beyond Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, and Super Saiyan 3. He is Super Saiyan 4, and he is doing his key blast, so I wanted to give that reflective lighting. Also, I think it just looks dramatic when you add reflective lighting to begin with. Lo and behold, here is the complete design from my imagination of Goku from Dragon Ball GT Super Saiyan 4. Now looking at it from side to side, bruh, I definitely didn't get the hair right. Of course, the real version of hair is a lot more bigger. I had a feeling when I was drawing, I was like, how did the hair work? I knew that the hair was gonna jet out from his neck, almost as if it's like a neck collar, so I did add that there. However, the form of it is not accurate at all. I knew he had like a Giga Chad chin. I should have made the Giga Chad chin a lot bigger. At least I'm happy with the fact that I did get the redness around his eyes. I definitely remembered that, as well as his yellow golden eyes. The fur color, it has a bit of a, the real version has a bit of a magenta tint to it, coral / magenta tint, as opposed to mine just being straight red, just maroon and dark red. So color wise didn't work, but overall, what do you guys think as far as me drawing this out of my imagination next to the real version? Let me know down below. Up next, we got Jinx from Arcane. Jinx was a bit of a challenge just because of the fact that yes, I did finish watching season 2, but once you put on the spot of drawing from your memory, it is very hard. I wanted to give her the side view to make it different from everybody else. And when I was drawing this, I was like, I know she got tattoos, so I wanted to implement those tattoos as well. And since she is very edgy, I was like, does she got earrings? Okay, I'm gonna add some earrings anyway. I knew she had those type of ponytails, I guess, so I was like, wait a minute, maybe she got double ponytails. I don't know. I was thinking about, for some reason, besides Jinx, I was also thinking about Harley Quinn for some weird reason. So once the sketch was complete, this is when I utilized a pen tool. So I'm just, you know, I sound like a broken record, I get it.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Using the pen tool just to make sure everything is nice and crisp and edgy. And then on top of that, this is when I started to add the colors. Now the coloring to me was pretty straightforward because in my mind, I'm like, I know Jinx's hair is blue, so there was no way I was gonna mess up with that. And then of course her eyes being magenta, I was like, I believe it's magenta, I guess so. But then the trickiest part was indeed the ponytail. I was like, I gave her 2 pink ponytails. I guess that works. I don't know. And I just made that the same color as one of her earrings. I already knew from the jump that was not accurate, but I just moved forward anyway.
You serious?
It came down to the tattoos. I knew off the bat I was not going to get the tattoos accurate just because I didn't really look at the character as much, to the point where in my imagination I could get a good accurate representation of that. It is what it is. I just kind of just winged it, just made some random glyph, I should say, symbol that makes no sense, and I just went with that. Here you get Jinx from my imagination. Now looking at it from the actual version to the one that I made, I was pretty off. Now the good news I would say is the lipstick color was pretty accurate, and I'm pretty happy with the way that came out, because I didn't know if her lips was dark red or something. I just went with it. Should have made her mascara darker. Like, I feel like the original one had a more of a deeper hollow tone to her mascara, and I just made her a little bit more innocent compared to her being edgy. The biggest takeaway is the hairstyle. Yes, I dropped the ball on the hairstyle. I should have threw the wisp on the side, but then again, it's from my imagination. In a weird way, I'm glad that I didn't do that, mainly because of the simple fact that if I did, then you really want to see her face from that side angle anyway. Also, those pigtails, I gave her double pigtails, but in the real version, it's just one long string of hair. Yep, kind of messed up on that. But speaking of something I didn't mess up on, which is her actual outfit, I'm actually glad I actually got that right. Because if you look at it, I gave her that edgy outfit that she actually has in the show. And then on top of that, yes, the tattoos are off. I already knew that was going to happen. And then when I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot it was like some cloud design. How did I forget that? It is what it is. So let me know what you guys think with the memory out of my head and the real deal. Let me know what you guys think down below. Last but not least, I decided to draw Huey from the Boondocks. Now this one, of course, man, I'm a big fan of Boondocks. I remember back in the days watching that. And if you haven't watched it, you should definitely check it out. Let's talk about this, right? So when drawing this, I thought this was gonna be easy because it's like, it's Huey. He got an afro hair and, you know, you just go with it. But then when I was making this, I was like, wait a minute. Since I'm drawing out in my head, I'm like, whoa, I don't know if the afro is like that. Whatever, I'm just gonna go with it. You know, I didn't think. All right, actually, funny enough, it is out of my head, so I am thinking, but I'm not thinking too hard to the point where I'm gonna give myself a migraine. So it is what it is, so I just kept on moving forward. So the sketch for Huey didn't take too long because it's pretty straightforward compared to the rest of them. And after that, this is where I transfer it from Illustrator, and of course, sound like a broken record. You're gonna hear me say that over and over.
A few moments later.
I'm not gonna spend too long talking about the pen tool process, because after the pen tool, this is when I implement the colors. Trickiest part was, what was Huey's outfit? I really couldn't think of his outfit at all. So one of the characters right here, which to me will come off really simple and easy, actually became the most challenging out of the other two. I just was going back and forth, and I was like, you know what, let me just go with blue, and then his eyes and everything else. So pretty straightforward, and I completed this design. Now seeing it from side to side, not gonna lie to you, I definitely dropped the ball on that one.
Come on, man.
My version just seems as if he is Michael Jackson from the Jackson 5, while the original Huey has an unkept, cool, edgier afro. Not only that, but then the skin tone is off. The eyes has the original Huey's eyes has a bit of a maroon, like a burnt, like a sienna color, I should say. It has more of a sienna color, while mine just looks very just basic brown. It's not appealing. I think out of all three, this one doesn't really look like Huey, but at the same time, because Huey has strong characteristics, people can definitely tell, like, oh, he's trying to draw Huey because of the afro and he's a kid. So that's the only thing that I can get away with, but let me know what you guys think down below. All right, so that is all 3 of these designs I drew out of my imagination. It's so funny because when I was drawing this, at first I'm like, I was going through a roller coaster like all the time when I draw. In the beginning, I'm like, what am I even doing? This looks like crap. And then when I start coloring it, I'm like, oh, okay, I can see how people may like it. And then in the end, funny enough, while seeing them finally, instead of doing things out of my imagination, now seeing it side to side, I'm like, yeah, I tried. Let's just put it that way. I definitely tried, but it definitely is the only good news that you can tell that I was drawing these characters, but as far as accuracy, no, far from it. So let me know what you guys think down below. What should be the next 3 characters I will design out of my imagination? All right, throw your suggestions. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.